All right, we're going. So if you want to give a quick summary of who you are or what you do.
Yeah. My name's Ryan Hilerio. I've been playing drums for, about 20 years now.
Yeah, it's been
Preston,
a while.
I've been in a band with you years ago. Currently playing for Pyrexia, death metal band from Long Island. Working on a couple other projects here and there that are in the works that will soon be, out in the open. So for you guys to enjoy. Big firearms enthusiast, big horror movie buff. Let's see, what else?
Well, when it comes to like the band
pretty much
stuff,
sums me up.
Yeah, with the band stuff, like you've been on tours and stuff too, which a lot of people I know have not done as much as they'd like to say they have. But obviously, that's not a thing right now. With any of your projects, has that been like anything that you guys have discussed, like future touring and how that's going to look?
Oh, it's been horrible with COVID and, everything else going on in our country right now and in other countries even, throughout the world.
Well, yeah, we're not even allowed to leave. No other country will have us right now.
No, because we're really not doing a great job.
No.
Not at all, not remotely. But as far as the touring industry in general goes, we had a tour, our last tour actually with Pathology, which was in March, got cut off right in the middle, pretty much when it started ramping up.
Yeah, when the quarantine actually hit.
Yeah, that was when we got cut short. We were 2 weeks in, and the call was made.
How long were you going to go for?
What's that?
How long were you going to go for? You got cut off at 2 weeks.
It was supposed to be a month straight, but it was just halfway through we got cut off, and the next stop, I should say, on the tour was going to be Cincinnati, and at the time that was a really bad COVID hotspot. It was just spiking like crazy. So
in a way, I guess you kind of lucked out not going there.
Yeah, not going there. It's just really shitty all around for musicians everywhere. Touring musicians, because some touring musicians, that's their only source of income.
Well, yeah, I mean, like any kind of entertainment at this point, that's not like a TV show. Like
any artist, really.
Yeah, Bert Kreischer, I don't know if you know who he is. He's a stand-up comic. He was doing drive-in movie theaters, which seemed like a pretty smart idea. But I guess some places, like, people would get out and kind of get close anyway, even though it's kind of like against the rules. Yeah, you can't trust people.
Yeah. No, I mean, just like you got to just follow the rules, just use common sense, and we'll all be through this sooner rather than later. I mean, that's what we all want. We want to get on with our lives and continue doing what we love to do.
Well, I don't like to be that guy, but I feel very strongly that after November, COVID's going to probably take a pretty big dip anyway. I feel like the election has something to do with this, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, you don't say.
Maybe I'm incorrect about that. It just feels very much like, because I feel like either way, like if Trump wins again, I feel like they're going to be like, all right, this isn't working. Who gives a shit? Drop it. Let's go back to whatever. And then if Biden wins, he'll be the hero who figured it all out and fixes it in a month, even though he can't figure out where he is half the time.
He can't complete a sentence coherently. But
did you see his newest one?
That's a whole different story.
His new one where he told a black guy, or no, I don't think he told anybody, but he said openly, like, black people aren't as diverse as Latinos.
I did. Yes, he said I think if I'm quoting him correctly, the Latino community is much more diverse than the black community. Huh?
Yeah, they also.
Hey, Joe.
Well, it's weird that they keep putting him in front of a camera because he also, like, I think the week of that, or maybe the week before, he was being interviewed by a guy who asked him, oh God, I forgot what he even asked him, but then he was like, what, am I? No. Oh, do you on crack? Do you smoke crack? And it's like, he's like talking like a black TV host. I'm like, Jesus, get him off the TV. But it doesn't work in his direction. Like, Democrats get away with being racist. It's odd.
I don't know.
They could just do it.
Yes, they do. Very, very much so. They can say whatever they want, and pretty much scot-free. For example, if you're deciding whether to vote for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the most racist things that I've heard any presidential candidate say. But
well, it's weird because like that'll get. I've seen that.
For Joe.
Well, I've seen that video get passed around a lot, and then I think what I'm seeing, because I'm reading this book called Hate Inc. right now as well, suggested to me by another comic, Dave Namery, and it's really good. It's about the media and how it kind of just works. Every channel works together to just cause diversity, or just problems, like make everyone just kind of hate each other, like divide the country, basically. And one of the things I've noticed is a lot of people will share videos of Biden screwing up, but then the media doesn't really talk about it or put it on the front page. It's always about Trump. So they give you this feeling that Biden's untouchable, and Biden's doing well, and they'll tell you like in the polls Biden's winning, but they do the same thing with Hillary. So I feel like what you see in the mainstream media, you go, oh, the Democrats aren't getting away with anything, or the Democrats are getting away with like everything, and the Democrats don't get in trouble for stuff. But then when it comes to actual voting and how the presidential election goes down, that's where you actually see that the people in general do seem to kind of give a shit. There are people drinking the Kool-Aid about it, but.
I mean, I completely agree. I mean, when the 2016 election was happening, I really did not think that Trump was going to win, and I was literally up. I was up the majority. Sorry, I have to plug in my my douche flute here.
That's fine. I just quit mine like a month or two ago.
Oh, really? So you're just nicotine free?
No, I had a cigar earlier. I smoke a cigar or 2 or 3 a week, or sometimes 5, but. I just try to keep to like a cigar a day.
But you didn't inhale.
No. Well, you kind of accidentally inhale with a cigar.
Yeah.
Well, Clinton's done worse things than smoke pot.
Oh, yeah. Well, stop. Don't get me started. If you want to get me started, don't get me started on that guy. But, pretty much the 2016 election, I was up the majority of the night, just worrying, just very anxious about it. But, I am a pretty hardcore conservative when it comes down to it. And like I said, I'm a big firearms guy, very pro Second Amendment, very pro, socially conservative for the most part, with obviously a few exceptions. So I woke up the next morning and I was like, oh, he won? Oh, okay. Wow. I think we're going to be okay. So, but
I had
again,
a weirder reaction because at the time when that election was going down, I hadn't really been super involved in politics. Like you hear about it, but I feel like that election's where things really started to pop off in terms of like social media involvement.
Absolutely.
And I started getting more involved after that. But I remember when Trump won, I didn't really care who won, but my wife was upset that Trump had won. And then like a lot of people I knew were upset. And I didn't really care because at that point, at the time I had preferred, anybody who was going left would have preferred Bernie Sanders to Hillary. And, he got screwed both times now. So at the time I was more of a Sanders fan, but then I actually started to look more into politics and what I actually thought about things. And I discovered that I don't really agree with Sanders at all. I'm not a Trump fan either, but if you had to put me in a spot, it'd be most closely aligned to like a libertarian. So at this point in time, me and the right get along more than me and the left. But I just really like the idea of everyone leaving each other alone and then just mind your own business. As long as you're not hurting anybody else, go ahead and do what you're going to do.
That's the definition of libertarianism. You nailed it. Like, I know I said I'm probably socially conservative. I'm probably socially more libertarian than anything because, I feel like if you have a right to do something, no one should be able to take that right away from you. I have my right to own a gun, own guns, people should have the right to marry whoever the hell they want. Mm-hmm. Doesn't affect my life, doesn't affect me. So it doesn't bother me.
That's where things always get squirrely because I think it's on Rogan. They've mentioned it quite a bit, how everything's kind of in a pendulum. Like for a while, I remember when I was a kid, like the right was always, like the gay hating, very religious group. And then now it's
the evangelicals just step in and they.
But now it's almost like everyone went from hating the right so much between like the Vietnam War and all that, like this whole, Nixon, all that shit. Everyone kind of started to despise the right, and then it kind of swung back to where now like the left has gotten too much power, and we're kind of having to go back to the right now. That pendulum, it's always moving until we hopefully like we settle at a good spot in the middle. But right now everything's so chaotic and everyone's screaming at the rooftop. It's like you never know what's really going on.
Oh God, with everything going on right now in the country, it's just a complete shit show. Honestly, I feel that 2020 has been easily the worst year in recent history in any of our lifetimes.
That's what most people are saying. Yeah, it makes sense. What's funny too is like
people like you and I.
Well, yeah, there's like a Bill Hicks bit that kind of goes with this, where he was saying like, you turn on the news and it's always like people dying here, people are fighting over there, cops doing this, blah 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 blah. So then you open up your window and it's birds chirping, squirrels are outside, it's sunny. It's like, where is all this shit?
Yeah.
It's like things really aren't probably as bad as everyone thinks it is. I mean, I'm sure there are spots and things hype happening, but yeah, the media is. Dude, this book, Hate Inc., if you like to read or even like audiobooks, you'll like that book. Yeah. It's because the guy was a reporter, Matt Taibbi. I don't think he really is anymore. He just kind of is writing books and maybe doing his own reporting. But he talks about how like reporters get indoctrinated into a certain style of reporting and how you talk and discuss things in a manner that kind of makes everything very divisive, but also it's all about getting clicks. So it went from, wanting like they kind of like ran the presidential election in a certain way, like it had to be a certain personality, and it set the way basically for someone like Trump to come in and just fucking steamroll it and easily win a presidential election. And now all the reporters are like, oh fuck, what do we do? So instead of like correcting their behavior, they just double down because now they're making money off Trump. So the media actually likes Trump in a way because no matter what they do, there's always somebody who either supports Trump or isn't for Trump. There's never a middle ground. I mean, I'm kind of one of the middle ground, but there's not a lot of people like me. It's either you like him or you hate him. And even then, like when people bitch about him, it gets to the point where I'm like, come on, man. Like some of the shit people bitch about, it's like clearly this is just meant to ruffle feathers. Like why are we even discussing this shit?
It's like, in my opinion, like the left will find any reason whatsoever to
the left will, but it's also the media in general.
The media. Yeah, that's their job. I mean, I guess, unfortunately, it would be considered their job.
Well, I'm curious to see if it's even going to happen with like a left-leaning president next. Because now if they already established this as a way of making money and getting clicks is to just attack whoever's in office, it might keep going even with that. I mean, maybe not. I guess we'll have to see.
I would be shocked. I mean,
I would be too, but I'm curious.
I mean, I would say in my own words, I hope not, but, I'm not religious, but God forbid Biden wins the election.
I'm really nervous about that.
See how that turns out.
I think, I think my mom actually floated this theory by me. I've heard it a few times online, and if they did this would be the most egregious form of screwing over the people. But there was, I guess, at one point a rumor of Hillary running as vice, because then once Biden gets in, he stands down, and then Hillary becomes president. But that, I mean, I don't think that would literally cause people to go in the streets with guns. I think because that would just be like a blatant, a blatant takeover. But even then, if he picks like Kamala Harris or something, that's not any better to me. And same thing's going to happen.
Or AOC. I mean,
well, I don't think he's going to pick AOC. I'm not sure she's not even old enough to be president, so I don't think she could be vice president.
No, you're right. She's not. So, I mean, I've heard that theory floating around. Like, pretty much what the agenda is on, in that camp is to, I mean, clearly he's not fit to be commander-in-chief. He's, he can't finish a coherent sentence. He can't, I don't know if it's early onset dementia or whatever it is. But, I mean, pretty much my theory and a lot of other people's theories is that, he will be, if he is elected, shortly into his term, he'll be declared incompetent to serve that role.
I think that's what most people think.
And pick a female running mate, and then there we go. We have a female president.
That would be really shitty, though, if like that's how you get your first female president is because someone had to let her be the president. Like, because I mean, they could have gone with Tulsi Gabbard. I think she would have been a good pick. I liked her. She's like ex-military. She has very strong moral beliefs, but they shut her down because during the debates, she just dismantle them. Like she basically destroyed Kamala Harris.
Wait, this was
this recent primary. No, Tulsi Gabbard. a lot
Not
of
the
people.
libertarian. Oh, okay.
No,
Yeah, I thought
she's
you were
a
talking about
Democrat.
the libertarian.
No, they don't even.
Okay.
That's Joe Jorson, I think is her name. I would prefer
Yes,
her over anybody currently, but here I'll screenshot.
that's who I was thinking.
This is
Yeah.
this right here is Tulsi Gabbard. But I mean, she's pretty. She has great
Yes. I have seen
morals.
her.
She's like literally everything. She's also like, a woman of color. She's literally everything that they want, but she fucking just she didn't follow the status quo. She didn't do what the Democrats wanted. They couldn't really control her. And so now,
There she is with Bernie.
yeah, well, I mean, she's going to have to do that on occasion. But it's like,
Oh, of course.
I mean, and she wasn't like against Bernie, because even if you don't agree with Bernie, he's at least not. He doesn't come off as like a bad person. He just has politics that maybe you don't agree with, but he's at least like an honest guy who at least seems like he's trying to do what he thinks is right. But I mean, there's so many people that it's just like when she literally like just there's a fucking spotter trying to kill the shit out of me right now. When she dismantled Kamala Harris.
Afraid. Don't even tell me.
I don't like spiders either, so I'm sitting here. I'm like, I'm going to make it through this podcast with this motherfucker. But when she destroyed Kamala Harris, they basically shut her down. Like they wouldn't let her do the debates anymore, and there was all these different excuses why she wasn't allowed in on the debates. But I mean, even Andrew Yang, like he's another guy. He's a minority, and then somehow we end up with a fucking white guy from the Democrats, and they're the ones preaching diversity and equality, and they pick a fucking old white guy.
Yes. It's
and they
like,
had candidates.
Well, yes, I mean the Democrats have always been about let's not take orders from old rich white men, but yet who is their
What makes it even funnier
hypocrisy.
is when you look at like the entire lineage of them. Like the first Republican was Lincoln, freed the slaves. I mean, and then from there on, the Democrats basically founded the KKK.
Yes, they did.
The Democrats make most of the laws that hurt the minority community, like the Crimes Act and shit that Biden personally helped push through.
Yes.
I mean, it's so weird. Malcolm X is quoted saying the white liberal will break your leg to give you a crutch. Talking about like the black man.
You read my mind. I mean, those are my feelings exactly. I mean, pretty much, in my opinion, the Democratic Party has been holding the black community down for decades. Yeah. Decades. I mean,
they pander to them. That's where they get their votes still somehow. It's weird.
Yes. It's okay. Like, well, I feel like there's a victim mentality that is harbored by a lot of, minority, people of color, minorities who are voting for the Democratic Party. And it's pretty much saying, hey, I'm a victim. I'm a victim. I need this. I need handouts. I need this. I need, whatever you can offer me, instead of taking a victor mentality and saying, okay, well, you know what? No, I can do this. I can do whatever I want to accomplish in my life.
Well, that's the other thing too.
You can do whatever you want. You can, if you work hard, you can achieve whatever you want.
Well, you have your Morgan Freemans, your Oprahs, they're all out there.
Yes.
But I mean, what's also weird is that the Democrats, the way that they pander is almost racist in and of itself. It's like, well, the black man or people of color in general, like, can't do it without our help. Without these white people coming in and doing it for you, you can't do it. Meanwhile, there are plenty of very powerful black people out there who have made very successful careers, but the whole thing is just annoying. I'm hoping that over the next few years, maybe like with everyone getting used to social media more and it becoming more, because it's still pretty new when you really consider everything. I mean, our generation's really the first one to kind of come up with it. So hopefully in the next generation or two, things kind of pander out and the country's still around. See how it goes.
I mean, hopefully the country's still around. But I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Like, another point that I would address is that, I've pretty much, why does the black community need, white people to be the voice? Do they not have a voice of their own? Or, it's like they have their own voice. Let them speak.
But it's
you don't need a rich white man speaking for you.
Well, it's just like
itself, that's racist to me.
It happens with a lot of movements. Like someone kind of just comes in and hijacks it, and it's actually a way that like the CIA and police will sabotage things as well. Like they'll put someone in to act like they're one of you, but then the things that they start to do and push like the movement in another direction to make you out to be scumbags or They basically just hijack it. Like they go, okay, now like the white people need to come in and say this and do this to help the black man, and it takes away the actual power of the black people. It's like this weird
Exactly.
reverse psychology way of taking over the entire community, or at least diverting it.
Yeah.
I mean,
you have a lot of people who are, on the conservative side, black people on the conservative side, Candace Owens, David Harris, a lot of,
yeah, then they get called things like Uncle
and
Tom and shit like that. They get
Uncle
attacked.
Tom.
They get called racist shit every day, and it's fine because they don't follow the agenda.
The agenda. God forbid you're a person of color and you don't agree with the narrative that you're quote unquote supposed to believe in, and it's it's just that's the part
that's what got weird too. Is the left was always about like acceptance and understanding, and now they're the most like they just shut down everything that isn't their viewpoint. It's just an odd turn of events, I feel.
My opinion of the leftist motto is, yes, you have the right to your own opinion as long as I agree with it.
Mm-hmm. It's basically how it works.
That's pretty much it. If you don't agree with verbatim what they say, you're a racist, misogynist, xenophobic, bigot.
So they have 100 names for you now. They have a name for anything that you could possibly disagree with them. There's something to call you. That way you can never have another opinion. They attack your morality, not your politics. That's usually, I think Ben Shapiro has a whole video on how to argue with a liberal. He's like, the first thing they're going to do is attack your morality. He's like, so you just ignore that and continue to attack the point and don't get off the point. So the second you get off the point, they start to win because they're just going to constantly change the subject. It's always about how you're a piece of shit, not about how they're right in their politics. So it's like,
no, they don't argue with reason. They argue with feeling. They don't use logic. They use feeling and emotion rather than stating facts, statistics, real life examples. It's okay. They'll attack and pulling the you're a racist card. I'm a minority myself. I don't know if you knew this, but yeah.
No, you look pretty white to me, but
I know I look it, but yeah. My mom's Irish, but my dad is off the boat Puerto Rican. Yeah. So I'm, I guess, what is that, first generation, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, so. You're first generation born in America.
Yeah, he's off the boat Puerto Rican. And, my father, he was raised in the South Bronx. He came over as a kid. He lived in the slums of the South Bronx, and he watched his own mother, overdose on heroin right in front of him. And, a lot of his friends went down the wrong path and they chose that path as well. And my dad decided to become a cycle breaker. And that's why he became, he joined the NYPD and made a better life for himself. And, both my parents are retired NYPD, and, he has the same views as I do. And, he just broke that cycle. You don't need to follow in the footsteps of your parents or peers or whatever. So it's
that's something like they have people like Kevin Hart and stuff are trying to go out there now into bad communities and try to push that narrative now to try to help people, because a lot of times it's like the options are out there, but when you're stuck in a really shitty environment, it can be hard to see the way out. So we need more people to push the positivity as opposed to pushing a narrative that you can't help yourself and that you're basically fucking useless without my help. Is like, and that doesn't help anybody. Yeah.
It's horrible. It's just like, it continues the cycle. It continues the cycle of, poverty, crime, you name it. It's just really, I just feel very strongly about how that, the left and Democrats.
It's telling you it's just telling you what you want to hear and not actually correcting the issue. It's pandering.
Exactly. It's giving you what you want. That's it. You hit the nail on the head.
Well, being as I have to be off here by a little bit before 7, I want to start moving on to maybe a happier subject. What exactly got you into drums?
Oh, man. Well, knowing you were there along my journey briefly, but yeah.
Very short stint.
It was a short stint, but it was fun as fuck, man.
I just remember my favorite thing was whatever riff I had actually written.
The kit falling over on me?
I don't remember. Was I there for that one?
Oh, man. That was I think it was in Milford. Was that in Milford?
Oh,
my
Tom
whole
Quick?
rack fell on top of me? Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Where my rack fell on top of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
but
fine.
No, go on. You're saying?
Oh, I was gonna say, I just remember, like, one of my favorite moments with any drummer, it was with you when it was a riff that I had written, and the band was actually like they wanted to do it, so we were doing like one of the songs I had written, and at one point I was like, I want something like Tom's, Tom's, like very tribally, and you're like Godsmack. I was like, yeah,
Jungle
like
Beats.
Godsmack, yeah, and you were like, and then you just started
Oh
doing
God.
like a Godsmack thing. I was like, that's perfect. Like it was just funny. Like you like immediately got like exactly what I was trying to say. Like this is exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
Well, I like Tool a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, I love Danny. He's
I
a great
love
drummer.
Tool. He is incredible. One of my favorites. One of my biggest influences. Yeah, I was 12. November
I started
1st,
playing guitar.
2001. Really?
Oh, yep.
Same age.
Yep. I'm 28 now, I'm going to be 29 like a week or two, but yeah.
Damn, I was like a year older than me for some reason.
People think I'm younger. Some people think I'm older. If I shave, I look young again. But I have no chin, so I gotta.
Yeah. No, I remember when it was shaved and you had the hair longer and.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I forgot I had like long hair when I joined the band.
Yeah, but I was 12 when I started playing. November 1st, 2001. My dad took me to my first drum lesson, which was right here in New Windsor, up the road. And I went there after, what was I in, 2001, 5th or 6th grade. But I went there right after school with going to Catholic school, my little button-up shirt and tie, and
I think I saw a picture that you posted on Facebook, actually.
Yeah, that picture of my dad I posted all the time. That was my first drum. But he took me there, and my first teacher was Vic Garson. I'm not sure if he still plays or teaches. I haven't heard from him, unfortunately, in a few years. But the first song, I went in there. I was good with my hands. I really I didn't have the hand-foot coordination.
That's one of my hardest things with it. Like, when I start to get the more complicated things, straightforward beat, I could handle, but.
I mean, the first song I learned to play was Dirty Laundry by, is that Warren Zevon or Don Henley?
I'm not even sure. I'm not sure I know it.
I think it's Don Henley. But yeah, it's just basically just a boom, tap, boom, tap, digga, 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 digga. And I thought I was such hot shit because I could pull that off. I'm like, wow.
Especially once you start hitting the toms.
Oh yeah, once you put that basic rock fill in there, I'm like, wow, I can do this. Shit. And then, from there, I kind of continued with the basics for a little bit. And after that, I got my first double pedal, and that's I always wanted to play metal since I started listening to it before I was actually playing drums.
So much fun.
I got my first double pedal. Oh my God, I love it. It's it's obviously it's what I do, and since then I taught myself to play metal. I learned the basics.
I never took lessons on guitar or anything either. Yeah, I'm all.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I just watched videos when Ultimate Guitar.
I don't know if you told me that, but holy shit.
Well, I'm not really good anymore, but I haven't played in really 5 or 6 years.
You were.
Oh, thank you. Give me 1 second. My daughter just came down here. 1 second. I'm gonna go beat her up.
No.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. But pretty much, long story short, taught myself metal. I started studying with Mike Heller, my drum coach. He was in Malignancy, based out of Yonkers, a technical death metal band in Yonkers, and he later joined Fear Factory, who he's currently with. And I got my first tour in 2012, touring with, I was playing for System Divide, subbing in for Mike. It was a tour, Epica headlined that tour. That was a full North American tour. Then after that, a year or so later, I subbed in for Dehumanized from New York. And more recently, then I was in Necrotic Engorgement for many years.
I remember that one.
Yeah, that was my baby. I love that. We played our own album, Realms of Incessant Bloodshed. They're currently working on some new stuff with their new drummer now, and obviously, most recently, I've been playing with Pyrexia. Did 2 tours with them so far. So yeah, that's pretty much my drumming career. Kind of
pretty extensive, though. I mean, you're not even 30 yet,
Oh,
right?
thank you. I am 30. I just turned 30.
Oh, you did?
May 2nd. Just this past May, I turned 30.
Oh, nice.
So,
congratulations, I guess.
Thank you. I mean, yeah.
Still a decent.
I didn't.
And anyone I know around here,
I'd
probably
like
the
to
most
say it's a pretty
extensive
good
career.
Thank you. Thank you, and I appreciate it. Like, you know, I always will need my day job. Death metal does not pay the bills, but
no, but it's still nice to see someone actually kind of doing what they want to do. Because there's so many people, especially in this area, where you meet someone who's kind of creative, and they're like, "Yeah, but it's never going to work out." So instead of even doing it as like a good size hobby or something, even like it's like another paycheck, maybe not like your primary paycheck, but it could still be a paycheck. They just give up completely.
Oh yeah.
They start working a job that they hate. And they're all depressed. Everyone around here drinks or, is on opiates. So it's just like, it's nice to see someone doing it instead of just going down the shitter.
Yeah, don't. I will never give up. Until the day where I can't physically do it anymore, I will be blasting. And I will always be doing it until my body says I can't do it anymore.
Well, drummers seem to have a good longevity. A lot of drummers seem to keep going.
Look at Cannibal Corpse. Look at Deicide. Look at Morbid Angel. I mean, well, they've got a new drummer now, but bands like Cannibal, Death, Deicide. A lot of death metal drummers. They've been doing it for 30 years, and they're still going. They're still kicking. So, I mean, if they can do it, then anyone can. It's
not as complex a music, but it's death metal, Swedish death metal. Do you know the band Entombed?
Of course.
Well, did you see about their singer?
I did. That's unfortunate. That sucks.
I'm hoping he pulls through, but we'll see how it goes.
I really am hoping he makes it because they were, a big part of, putting death metal on the map and, the development of death metal as a genre.
Yeah, I started listening to them about like a year and a half ago. And then them and Bolt Thrower are basically my workout bands. Like yes. I listen to them and
Bolt Thrower is another one.
Yeah, I like both of them a lot. And so I was like really hoping after all this was done, like to go see Entombed AD. Because I heard live, he like sounds like great live too, even though he just basically yells. Somehow he never blows his voice out. But now,
honestly, I would love to see Entombed. I never got the chance to, but I would absolutely like. I mean, speaking of vocal, like death metal vocals, I don't know how they do it. People can say the same about drummers, but I mean, I've tried it. I have no fucking idea how they can do that without fucking their voice. I can't.
I've screamed in like, certain songs and stuff like on recordings at my house. And like, I could do it, but I don't know if I would be able to do it long term. But then like there's a woman, Melissa Cross. If you look her up, she does people like Randy Blythe and
I was just going to say, she coached Randy and
And
the art of
the Zen of Screaming.
The Zen of Screaming. Yes.
Yeah, part 1 and 2.
Yes.
Part 1 is really just exercises about how to like use your diaphragm, and I think part 2 she gets more into like the throat and how to use that without damaging it. But yeah, it's all just vocal exercises, and like, I mean, that's the other issue is a lot of singers, it's like they just happen, like at least the ones I know from around here, they happen to have a just decent voice from the get. So they don't really learn past that, and then they go to shit, and they never get any better. Whereas like someone who's actually treating it like an instrument is going to be practicing all the time, learning the techniques, and that's why they're able to do it all the time. Granted, I don't think that's what the guy from Entombed did. I think he just happens to be able to yell a lot and not get hurt.
Yeah,
which is fine.
A lot of guys who do that, but I mean, it's exactly what you said. It is an instrument just as much as drums, guitar, bass. I mean, it's an instrument. It's a pivotal part. It's a key part of a death metal band or any extreme metal band.
Yeah, I've been trying to practice singing. It's like the hardest one for me because I feel like doing stand-ups helped just because I got more used to with stand-up you just eat shit, like plates full of shit all the time in front of people, and it just hurts, but you get used to it. So because of that, like now if someone's around and stuff, I'm a bit better at being able to sing without getting that weird embarrassment, which immediately starts to close off your throat. Because it's such a personal instrument. Yeah. Like with a drum kit, you can get new heads, new cymbals, guitars, you can get guitar amps, new guitar pickups. With your voice, it's just your voice. Like it's just you are who you are, and you can't really do much about it other than get better with what you can do. So
I mean,
just
live, there's really, the studio is obviously, it's a completely different animal. You got Pro Tools, you have all that, but
yeah, you
live,
can do
that's
multiple
just,
takes. Yeah.
you got to sound, on point.
Mm-hmm.
You really don't have the option to, there's no real slack or there's no leeway. So you got to pull it off live, and if you don't pull it off live, then
Well, yeah, and either way, you're either like a baritone or soprano or whatever. Like, and you can't really change that. That's just your vocal cords. So it's like you're stuck with a lane.
Are we talking about like singing now?
Oh well, yeah. Well, anything. Well, I mean, with screaming, guttural stuff,
Yeah.
you could figure that out to a degree. But with like actual singing, I mean, either way, they're just two different parts of the instrument. I look at one as like with guitar. Technically, you could do cooler things if you could be a very good clean player. But with distortion, it kind of like masks half the tone, but you can get away with a lot more. Like you can be a little dirtier without sounding like shit. Same thing with like screaming. Like you can get away with a lot more if you're screaming as opposed to singing clearly. But they're still the same instrument. It's just one has a distortion on or off.
Yeah.
But yeah, with singing in general, like you kind of just have your vocal cords. Not much you could do about it other than practice and try to take care of them.
Practice.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, any instrument. Honestly, I mean, I'm like, usually I sit on the pad for most of my practice. Practice is done on the pad. Like there's a difference between practicing and playing. If
I'm not very good at practicing.
I'm sitting on the, because it's not fun.
Yeah,
practicing itself is not fun.
My approach to instruments in general isn't exactly the same as yours. Like you're a drummer through and through, whereas the way I look at things, it's like the first instrument I wanted to play was actually drums, but I lived in a very small apartment in the ghetto in this place called Lake Worth, Florida at the time. And we were living in a 1-bedroom apartment with my 2 parents, a dog, turtles, and my 2 brothers and I. Like we slept in like the living room. And so I got a guitar for Christmas instead of a drum set. So I played guitar kind of by default. They also got me a right-handed, well, my grandma got me a right-handed acoustic, and I should have just learned, but I was being a dick. And I was like, well, Kurt Cobain did it, and Jimi Hendrix, so I just learned lefty because I'm lefty.
Hendrix, yeah.
So it's like now I'm like paying an extra $200 for a fucking guitar. If I would have just learned it righty, it would have been way cheaper. But now I have like my basement. If I show you like my drum set's right over here, I have a Tama Imperial Star, and
nice.
Yeah, I have like a Ludwig snare right there. It's like an extra one, but not
vinyl sticker.
Yeah, well, I got a bunch of. I got them with They came with a kit because it came with the HCS, which are terrible. I don't use them. I have
I have a couple of them, but I hate them.
Yeah, I have a second hi-hat set up. Like on my left, I have my S series by Zildjian hi-hat. And on my right, I have a closed hi-hat, the Meinl, because it sounds decent closed. And then I have a S series ride, 2 crashes, and then I have a Holy China, the 19-inch, my best cymbal. But I could play okay, but I'm nowhere near your level. But when I learn things like with guitar and stuff, well, even with guitar, like I would learn techniques. Like I learned how to sweep pick, which was like my big thing back in the day. Like everyone was like, "How the fuck can you do that?" I'm like, all you do is practice it.
I said the same thing. Like, holy shit! Like, that's amazing.
I never thought it was all that difficult, but as long as you practice it,
I tried it and failed miserably.
Well, the way I look at things is like with guitar, I'd learn certain things just because I played it for so long. But I was just talking to somebody about this the other day. I would never really learn cover songs. Like if I liked a song like Cowboys from Hell or something, I'd learn the main riff or like the verse riff if I liked it. Like I learned riffs. I wouldn't learn songs. And then I would use that to make my own stuff. So if you look at any of the music I've written on guitar, you could always basically tell pretty clearly like who I was listening to at the time. Because I learned like a riff or two from like Trivium or whoever. Exodus was a big, I like thrash a lot. So you could always kind of tell where I was coming from, but I always wanted to learn other things. I have a hard time sticking with just one thing. So then I got the drums, and like now I'm waiting on my synths to come in. I'm going to start doing synth shit because I like 80s movie. I like 80s horror and stuff. So I like horror.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
same. I mean, you could probably see.
Oh yeah.
Quite the horror fan.
You got that tattoo, didn't you?
I do. I do have the Red Dragon tattooed that was featured in the movie.
Edward Norton, correct?
Ed Norton was Will Graham. He did play Will Graham, but Ralph Fiennes, he played Francis Dollarhide, which was the antagonist, the killer in Red Dragon. But yeah, I do have that on my
saw
back.
that movie
painful.
Forever ago. I think like it had just come out. My parents were watching it, and I wasn't supposed to. I saw like bits.
Yeah.
I'm more into like,
02?
yeah. So I was like 11, and like I saw like clips here and there, but I never really watched it as an adult. I've always been more into, I like campy a lot. Like I always hated Friday the 13th and shit, but then when I got older, it's like the greatest thing because they're so over the top and stupid. I can get really into like making fun of it, or like I like Evil Dead a lot. Evil Dead.
I was just gonna say
yeah.
Evil Dead. Perfect example. That's literally the first horror movie I ever saw. My dad showed it to me, and I was so
probably my favorite. I mean, me and my friend, we would drink. It's like take a shot every time Ash gets thrown into a cabinet. You're gonna get fucking destroyed.
Oh,
he gets thrown into like every cabinet. I mean, we were looking like every time I see a free cabinet like on someone's curb or something, I think about buying it or like just picking it up if it's free. And like if I do a horror film down the line, because I do some short films here and there, like just having it to have someone get thrown into it. Like every time I see a cabinet, I'm just like, I could throw someone through that, or I can get thrown through that. I love Evil Dead.
That's it. Like, I mean, I love how in the original you can actually see more the part when he chops up. What the fuck is it, Linda?
That's his
you
girlfriend.
can see the fishing line. Mm-hmm. Yes, you can see the fishing line when she's dismembered on the floor. You see the. It's like,
well, I like because if you know the story behind it, like it was done on like an incredibly low budget, and it took like I think a year to. film. So actors were like slowly dropping out. So Sam Raimi's brother ends up playing the sister in the basement at one point because like all the prosthetic makeup keeps changing on her, and then
see, I didn't know that. That's why she looks so different.
Because it's his brother.
Okay, see,
and then
that's why. Okay.
And Scotty was supposed to be the protagonist, not Bruce Campbell. And throughout the movie, like, he was like, "Oh, I think Bruce should be the main character." And one of my favorite things is like Shelley is Scotty's girlfriend, and she gets killed. Yeah. Oh, Scotty hacks her up with an axe. And then there's a scene where Ash is talking to him on the couch, and he's like trying to be like positive. He's like, "In the morning, we can."
And he sits there.
Mm-hmm. Well, he goes. He goes, in the morning, we could find the trail and get out of here. You know, me, you, and Shelley. Well, no, not Shelley. It's like 2 minutes ago, they just hacked her up with an axe. It's like
he's unconscious, and he's trying to give her put water down his throat, like he's fucking Terry Schiavo or whatever the. Oh god, that was horrible. But yeah, he's like unconscious, just pretty much dead, and he just drink water, just that'll work.
The whole movie is just so perfect.
It's so ridiculously comical.
Well, I think the second one's my favorite because the second one is a little less.
The second one is just.
It's more on. It's like more self-aware comical, but it's almost like darker and like creepier in a lot of ways. I think, especially like the deer head laughing on the wall and shit. Like it looks stupid, but something about it is still like, oh fuck, man, that's kind of creepy. No matter how dumb it looks, it's like that's kind of fucking weird. He cuts off his fucking hand. It's like the best one.
Like everything. Like the second one it's got to be. I would prefer it over the first. I mean, the first one has its own,
I watched them all back to back. Even though the beginning it recaps the first one and totally changes it.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know what they were trying to pull off there, what Raimi was trying to do, but I mean, it's kind of just in a way. I hate saying it, but it's the same movie. But it's an incredible sequel, and I would definitely have to say the second one is. Oh, I'm a big fan. Love it.
Being as we don't have too much time left, I got a few clips I want to show you just because they should be fun. You like MMA, like UFC and stuff?
I am not a big MMA fan.
Oh,
I don't really. I'm not that I don't. I just never really gave it a shot. I never gave it a shot.
That's fine. Maybe you've seen this anyway, even though it's like one of their biggest fights. I'm still trying to figure out if it's staged or not. I mean, I feel like it has to be, but I don't know.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Jesus.
Like if every street fight was like this, I think the world would be a better place.
Oh, absolutely.
I like how he has a trench coat.
I love how you call it MMA.
Yeah.
See, that's the comedian you coming out.
I was trying to catch you off guard.
He's about to fall on his ass.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have no idea if it was staged or not. I mean, because it kind of looks like theatrical. Well, obviously, it looks pretty theatrical, but still, I don't know. It looks like it could be staged, but I'm not entirely sure. I got
I don't know, but
I don't know because a
honestly,
couple a
I
couple
was
hits
ready
look.
for like a
There's not much
straight up
punching.
like an actual MMA fight. But
No, that's probably how you get pulled off
no.
YouTube. But
See, I really gotta come out to one of your shows, man. Like,
well, I mean, I've only really done like one like legit show. That was actually this past Saturday in Liberty or Parksville, something like that.
I think I saw pictures.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, I
Did
posted
you post
those.
pics? Yeah.
hmm And then like tonight, I'm going to like an open mic. That's really all that's going on right now. I mean, there's some other shows I might end up getting on something soon, but yeah, for the most part, it's open mics where you just go to feel heartbroken about the shit that comes out of your mouth. But
Yeah,
see how it goes.
I mean,
Gonna test some new material tonight, but plenty of shit to
this
talk
is.
about.
I mean, how much time do we have? Because
Right now, like
yeah.
10 minutes.
Yeah. I don't know if this is relevant. This is drum related. I can give you a little gear rundown.
Oh, that's
Check out my
cool.
setup.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Let me take you with me and turn my camera the other way. If I could figure out how to do that.
I'm not sure you're on
There
an
we go.
iPhone. Yeah.
There we Yep. Ye old iPhone. This is well. Plug that.
Your place looks nice. I like the hardwood floors.
Thank you. Yeah. Love them. They're easy when you got cats.
Yeah.
So
My cat was just down here
as
pissing
you
me
can
off.
see, this is I mean, pretty much everyone
Silence of
who
the Lambs.
knows me at all knows what my favorite movie is, clearly. We got Creepshow, we got Fluffy, we got all my tour laminates, blah 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 blah. All this horror shit down here. Yeah, we got that. Animal, gas mask,
Oh, look at that.
Animal.
Necronomicon.
Creepshow. Yes, actually. That is
it the movie?
special edition.
Yep.
It is.
I have
That's
that
the
one,
special
yeah.
edition. Nice. Love this thing. Yeah. And then we have the greatest film of all time.
It's an amazing movie in just every aspect.
Love it, man. Love it. Can't get enough. Let's see. Yes, that is a horse.
It's a horse?
So I have quite a collection of animal parts on my walls. So here we have the drum room. It's a bit of a mess. So, yeah, I really just come in here to drum. But yeah, you mentioned HCS. Yep, they sit there and they don't really leave there.
Yeah. Well,
this is my main kit.
I have one right in my corner still, too.
This is my actual kit. This is my,
You use the
real
red
kit.
drum
This
head?
is a bot kit. Yeah, I love the Evans hydraulics. They're fucking great. Like,
I heard they're very dead.
they are dead. I mean, that's personally why I like them. A lot of drummers don't care for them because
I
of
use a
that
ton of
reason.
moon
But, I mean,
gels because I like the thud. I like the thud and the kind of cut, but I like them to have a bit.
yeah, I mean,
Maybe I'll fuck with them next.
you use EC2s with moon gels?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, most drummers do that. I mean, really, the hydraulics take away from the need for moon gels.
That's kind of why
I mean, I throw them
like
on
the
there
color
anyway,
too.
but yeah, the red, I mean, it matches the shells, but yeah, I got the 18-inch kick. Trigger's fucking great. Reflex pad. But anyway, moving on to the good shit. We have, this is my Roland TD11 KV.
Heads.
I've had this kit for about, the mesh heads. I love them. I've had this kit for probably about 7 or 8 years now.
I remember when you got it, you were putting out videos a lot with it.
Oh yeah, no, I still do.
I see them on occasion, but
interested in checking my videos, just type my name in YouTube and you will find pages and pages. This is this. There's that. We got the main influences. You can see Cannibal, Immolation, Black Dahlia, Malignancy, of course, Nile. But
I just saw Nile.
Trick. Oh, you did? When?
Yeah, I mean before the pandemic, but I think it was January at the Chance.
Was that at Ups? Oh, was it the Chance? Shit, I missed that.
I mean, the
don't know
Chance
why I
sounds like
missed that.
shit. You could barely hear what's going on there. It's
I
all
mean,
so muddy. Their speakers definitely need an update.
Oh, definitely. It's been the same shit for. That's actually where I saw my first show. Was at the Chance.
Oh well, yeah, probably the same speakers.
Yeah, probably since then. Let's see. We got This is the same module that I use for my triggers to trigger my acoustic kit. Well,
nice.
The kick, which is the only thing I trigger. We have the Trick Dominators, which I am endorsed by Trick, and I play Trick pedals exclusively.
I've been really curious about those types of pedals.
They're direct drive.
Yeah, I've used the what are they called? It's the Pearl one, the Demonator or
Demon Drive, yeah.
The Demon Drive,
was
yeah.
it Demonator or the Demon Drive?
They're the orange, or they're like silver and orange. It's like their nicest pedals, yeah.
Oh yeah, if it's because the Demonator is a chain driven.
Okay, yeah.
The Demon Drive, which I actually did play just before I got hooked up with Trick. They're great pedals, but honestly, nothing really beats these. They have internal springs, which all you got to do, you just turn this little knob. No fucking with anything on. Yeah, this is your spring tension maker. There's this little knob.
Yeah,
you can't even see the spring. Oh, those are nice. I mean, like they're chain driven, but still, I mean, for a chain drive pedal, I've been playing direct drives for so long. I mean, I'm just used to it.
I played
for the speed and stuff.
The Demon Drives, when I played them, it was on a Gretsch kit, like, I don't know, 7 years ago or something at a Guitar Center. And I didn't even really play drums. I could do like a simple beat. And I was able to do substantially more double kick with them because like the way that they were set up on that kit, it was almost like a magnet pushing back on your foot, and it made controlling it and going quicker way easier.
Oh yeah, because there's no lag from that from the chain. So I mean, there's no lag whatsoever. I play also Scorpion percussion exclusively. They're based out of Chicago. Great sticks. Have not broken a pair. I play 5As.
Okay.
I'm thinking about moving up to 5B for the blasts and stuff, because with blasts at higher tempos, the stick does most of the work for you. Just gravity, and that's
I want a pair of your sticks.
Mainly Minels. You got it. I mean, I have fucking bricks of them.
I would hope so.
I got enough of them. Oh yeah, I'm right over here. We got the whole I need to re-up. This probably doesn't seem like a low amount, but I got fucking shitload. But yeah, Scorpion percussion, Trick Drums USA, definitely great companies. I've been with Scorpion for about probably about 3 years now, and I literally have not broken a stick. The closest I've come to breaking a stick was in what was it? I think it was in Dallas. The tip, just the tip, snapped off one of the sticks and hit my guitar player in the head.
Yeah,
but a fraction of the tip. That's the only time. Other than that, I have not broken one pair. So
yeah, I don't really break them. I've broken one pair. It was actually my Neil Peart sticks, which were my favorite. But then I think my daughter was fucking with them.
He was with ProMark, right?
Yep. I use the standard ProMark now. I have a pair of Vic Firth. That one's like starting to split. Like at the tip, it kind of splits coming down it now. So it hasn't broken yet, but I'm waiting for it. And then I have a pair of the Chad Smith. I forgot the company, but I use them when I'm recording because they're louder. They're heavier, like 5Bs, I think.
I think he's with Vic.
Yes. I can grab them, but they're over there.
I'm not totally
they
sure.
They came with my with my Holy China, so because it's kind of like a signature.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, but yeah. Because we have to get off in a second. I have a couple more videos if you want to watch them.
Yeah.
This one here is music related. This is Eminem's sign language interpreter. That I don't get to take it off YouTube. Hopefully.
Holy shit.
She's going at it. What's crazy is she has to know the song too, because she can't hear it and then relay the message. She has to know it to do it on time with
you got to
them.
know it beforehand.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah. It almost looks like she's dancing.
Almost as good as Cuomo's. Or was it de Blasio's? The guy with the long hair?
Maybe. I'm not too sure.
He was, oh God. You could see on the news, this guy's a fucking character. With the glass. He looks like Penn and Teller.
Oh yeah. Well,
Teller.
Penn.
It looks like Teller.
The short one?
Which is the bigger guy.
Penn.
No, the bigger guy.
Penn.
That's Penn. Yes,
Yeah.
It looks like Penn. Just like him. He's a fucking character. Like
I'll have
this
to
dude
check it out.
It's hilarious. It's the only time I can stand seeing Cuomo or de Blasio.
Yeah, I hate both of them.
Look at that guy.
Well, being as
Same.
we hate them, would you like to see someone get hurt?
Sure. I can't say no to that.
There you go.
Oh, no.
I just like his scream. Just listen for the scream.
Oh, fuck. Holy shit. I hope he didn't break a rib or crack his
Oh, he
sternum.
more than
Holy
likely. I'm going to have to go ahead and assume he probably cracked his sternum on that.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't be putting up that kind of weight unless someone's hand was already on the bar and ready. But yeah.
No, I wouldn't be benching that kind of weight ever because, I mean, I work out very small muscles.
Well, yeah, but at least it keeps you thin and healthy. You get the fast twitch.
That's it. I mean, fucking, that's it. Just a twitch.
It's not bad to have, though.
I mean, yeah. But no, could never be. I'd like to be, but I'm not Schwarzenegger yet.
Well, that's fine. In the meantime, one last video of someone getting hurt.
Yes, please.
It's a semi-truck driving.
Is it
There's
really?
the guy down there. Yeah, the guy's at the bottom of the screen there. It'll show it again.
It's still loading.
Oh, you can't see it at all?
It says you have started screen sharing, but I don't see it.
I'll stop it again.
Yeah, try it again.
How about now?
There we go.
Okay. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see the guy afterwards.
Yeah. Ooh.
You think he's okay?
Absolutely not. I saw him sliding. I mean, we didn't get run over, but...
No, he didn't go under it, but he definitely didn't do okay.
Shit, no, Did he make it? Do we know?
I have no idea. I don't look that far into my videos. I mean,
I hope so. But...
You kind of lucked out because a couple guests ago, I was showing there's a vagina on your neck. So if you're down for that, maybe next time.
There's a vagina on your neck.
Yes,
right, I'm not going to look it up now because I want to laugh when I see it the first time.
Yeah, I'll show it to you. We'll do another episode maybe down the line, and we'll talk about horror films. I'll show you that because it's like a porn that's kind of like a horror film. Like the way that they do things. It's like close-up shots where like they turn like their head towards the camera and like make announcements of like the plot. Like it's very horribly done, and I love it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, hell, if you want to do another episode and we can talk horror, dude, I could go on and on. I'm sure you can too.
Yeah.
So that would be fucking awesome.
Most excellent. So we'll plan that out for the future. Till then, if there's anything else you want to plug, go ahead and do it now.
Yeah. I mean, really, that's it. I mean, dude, thank you for having me. It's been forever since I've actually seen you, I guess, or spoken to you. I mean, it's been years.
Yeah, I've been talking to more people during COVID, actually. Thanks to the podcast.
I mean, that's what you got to do. I mean, it's not much else to do if you're not, if you're cooped inside. But yeah, I mean, if anyone wants to check out my drumming, just punch my name in YouTube, and if you like what you see, subscribe. I'll let you know what's in store for the future. Got a lot planned. Well, don't have a lot planned. That's bullshit. Nothing is planned right now because of the fucking pandemic. But yeah,
you have ideas. All righty.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on. It was nice talking to you.
Yes. Preston, thank you again for having me.
Yep. We'll do it again soon.
Definitely. Just keep me posted, brother.
Yep, have a good one.
All right.